Okay, hello everyone. Here, Tommy Walker, the Mind Engineer, and today I'm going to go live on my profile to share a little bit what's going on in the community, the different things that we're talking about. And today has to do with ending your financial struggles. Why is this an important topic? And I want to deal with this because a lot of people out there are struggling with their money, whether it is that they're having very little money or they're having money. A lot of people are there are trying different things to be able, again, to change their financial situation, and they're struggling a lot, not being able to make changes. So in this training today, I want to talk about this specific matter to be able to help as many people as possible. That's why I'm doing this on my profile. So it makes sense. So you understand what is going on, what is holding you back from making more money, growing your business, asking for more money at work, saving money, whatever it is that you're struggling around money, it has to do, as I always say, with mindset. So today I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to share some tools, some different things. So if you're live, if you can write here, I invite you to write on the comments #live. If you're watching replay, #replay. It will be good to know who's around, who's watching, if you're enjoying this, so just let us know. So again, thank you very much for being here. I'm very happy. Let's start talking about this. Why is it that I need to check my relationship with money? First of all, guys, I want to be very, very clear with you guys and remind you this, okay? That, let me see, because I didn't start recording. So let's start recording right now. Today, we're going to talk about end your financial struggles, change your relationship with money. This is Tommy Walker, the Mind Engineer. So why is it that we got to check our relationship with money? So the first thing we need to talk about is to understand how the mind works, okay? To understand how the mind works, we need to understand that the subconscious mind runs 90 to 95% of what's going on in our life. So the mind, we're going to separate it between conscious mind and subconscious mind. Conscious mind, depending on literature, it doesn't matter, but it runs more or less 5 to 10%. If you want to know more, there's more training around how the mind works and all of that specifically, but we're going to apply it towards money in this case. That is the conscious mind. The subconscious mind, we're talking about more or less 90 to 95%. 90 to 95%. So I hear a lot of people saying like, oh, I love money. Money is good. I want money. I deserve money. I'm good enough to have money. And all these things that they try to convince themselves about really their relationship with money, but actually they have no idea what's going on deeper. And that's what I want to share today. So again, let me change the camera a second. FaceTime, webcam, here we go. So you can see me. Here we go, guys. Sorry about that. I have forgotten to change the camera. Okay, so what is it that I speak about the relationship with money? Most people, although they're trying to convince themselves, positive thinking, manifestation, increasing their frequency, whatever, to try to attract money into their life, they don't understand how actually things work. So I want to share this with you guys that has to do a little bit different to what is taught in The Secret and all these manifestation, gurus out there that are talking about these things. First of all, you need to understand that just by positive thinking, it's not easy to be able to attract the money, because again, if you have tried that in the past, type yes in the chat, and me in the chat, if you have tried manifesting with positive thoughts, with affirmations. Have you tried that before? Let me know in the chat. There's a lot of people out there that are teaching you that if you stay positive, if you think positive, if you go, you can manifest whatever you want. So the first thing, you need to understand that it doesn't work like that. Why? Because you are thinking consciously. Think about that. If I try to convince myself that money is good, try to be positive around money, that I deserve money, and I'm doing it from the conscious mind, I'm talking about 5 to 10%. Again, listen to the percentage, guys. 5 or 10% of my being is saying that I deserve money, that I want money, that money is good. But the other 90 to 95%, I'm not even, most people out there are not even aware what they're thinking about money. You know how many people have reached out to me saying, like, Tommy, I deserve money, I want money, but I'm struggling with money. I'm not able to get out of this rut. I'm always losing money, investing in the wrong places. I'm not seeing opportunities, whatever it is. It has to do with the relationship at a subconscious level. Listen to that again. It has to do with the relationship with money at a subconscious level that you're not even aware of. And today I want to start talking about this and how to start identifying these things. Because if I want to manifest money, if I want to bring more money in my way, I want to think positive about money, but deep down I have negative thoughts, negative relationships towards money. I have scarcity mindset that I'm not even aware of. I'm not going to be able to attract, generate, or whatever word you want to put in your life around money. Okay, so the first thing I need to understand is, where am I coming from when I want to make money? Yes, where am I coming from when I want to make money? So the typical question is, I want to make more money. Why? Because I want to go on vacation. It's going to make me feel good. It's going to allow me to buy this. It's going to allow me to buy that. Okay, perfect. I understand that. And those are valid reasons, but those are positive in a way reasons. So I want to ask you the negative now. Why do we need to figure out the negative? Because if there's a little voice in the back of your head that's coming from the subconscious mind that is telling you something negative and you're not listening, that's what's going to hold you back. And this, to bust some myths around this, a lot of people out there in the manifestation world, manifestation coaches or gurus, talk that you just have to be positive. You don't, if you think negative, you're going to attract negative. And it's not true at all, guys, because if I have negativity inside of my subconscious mind and I'm not dealing with it, by not thinking about it, I'm not really dealing with it. Listen to that again. Not dealing with it doesn't mean it's going to change. Not dealing or not speaking about it doesn't mean that it's still not, that it's gone away. So a lot of people out there are teaching you not to connect with your negatives because that's going to attract more negativity. But look at your life, guys. Look at your life. If you're struggling with money, if you're having a hard time with money, if you're losing opportunities, if you're investing money the wrong way, if you're not able to save money, there is something there with your relationship with money. So there is already something negative. So instead of trying to move away from it, not listen to it, cover it up, or whatever it is that you're trying, let's start trying something different, guys. If you want to see different results in your life, you got to change what you're doing. So let's start with mindset, guys. Mindset. Yes. So again, if I don't face the negatives that are already in my mind, those processes, like a computer, are running in the background and are driving my life. So if I have negative feelings towards money, and we're going to talk a little bit about that in a second, I might feel uncomfortable each time I got to do an investment. So I'm not going to be able to change jobs, ask for more money, grow my business if I have limiting, negative, and false beliefs in the back of my head. So I need, first of all, to accept that there's nothing wrong with facing the negative. Listen to that again. There's nothing wrong with facing the negatives. Yes, there is. I'm going to write it down. Nothing wrong with facing negatives, guys. This is the number one rule. There is nothing wrong with facing the negatives. This is what most people out there are teaching, not to face our negatives. Isn't that true? Type a 1 in the chat if you have heard this before, that you're not supposed to deal with your negatives. You need to ignore them, throw them away, whatever, put them in the back over there where nobody sees them. That's what most people are teaching, even people that teach about manifestation, the law of attraction, whatever you want to call it. It is not working for most people. Why? Because we're not dealing with the negatives. So we need to deal with the negatives. How do we start then? Again, as I said, I got to start asking myself, what if I don't get a raise? How do I feel with the amount of money I'm making? How do I feel that I'm not being able to maybe get to the end of the month to pay the rent, that I need to ask for money from my parents, from my family, from a friend? How do I already feel with the situation, the circumstances I'm through right now? How do I feel right now? Because guys, listen to this. If I want to make money from a scarcity mindset, from a mindset that I feel bad about myself because I'm not making enough money, listen to my question. Do you think that you're going to make good decisions or bad decisions? Type it in the chat. Good decisions or bad decisions if you're coming from a scarcity mindset, from a place of not feeling good about yourself where you are right now. Type it in the chat, please. Thank you, Susan. Perfect. Bad. Anybody else want to share? Susan, there you go. How am I going to feel, good or bad, if I'm coming or make good or bad decisions if I'm coming from scarcity, if I'm coming from a place of not feeling good? That's okay. No worries. So normally, if I'm coming from a scarcity mindset, from not feeling good about myself, I'm going to make the wrong decisions, guys. So I know that what I'm saying goes against what most people out there are saying. But if most people, and look again, the law of attraction has been forever around us. The Secret, the movie, it has been for, I don't know, when I was a kid, I was listening to The Secret. I'm talking about 30 years ago, so it might even go further back. So how come most people are there that have practiced? You can go into the law of attraction groups, and you're going to find hundreds of thousands of people. 500,000 people still struggling with the law of attraction, with The Secret. Why? Because we were lied to. Thinking positive, setting a manifestation board is not bad, guys. Don't get me wrong. But most people are doing it from the wrong intention. Listen to that again. Most people are trying to manifest, trying to have more in their life from the wrong reasons in the back of their head. And you might say, but Tommy, I want to feed my kids. That's the right reasons. Yes, that is the good reason. But if you're feeling like crap about yourself, where you are right now, you're not going to accept the abundance from the universe because you're already closed and angry at yourself. So if you're angry at yourself, you're angry at the universe because you're a part of it. So if you're denying yourself, or you're beating yourself up, or you're treating yourself badly, you're telling the universe, I don't deserve. Listen to that again, guys. Sorry about the repetition, but these are the basics behind the true teachings about the law of attraction, the law of manifestation, this, you go, whatever. We have been lied, guys, for many, many years. And I have my theory around why we have been lied. That could be another topic. Okay. Oh, we can bring it on in a second. I'll bring it on over here. But if I was taught the wrong way to manifest, then if I try it, but I see these gurus that are making it and I'm not making it, I feel like crap. And I see this in entrepreneurs and people, their love life and their, jobs and whatever, struggling. And although these people are telling them, even big gurus out there, be positive, you can attract whatever you want into your life. It's a load of crap. That makes you feel worse about yourself. Yes. So Romana is asking how to manifest correctly. I'm going to go there in a second, Romana. But listen to this, guys. If I'm teaching you something and it's not working for you, and I'm showing you that it's working for all of these people, is it going to make you feel good about yourself or bad about yourself? Again, answer in the chat. Good or bad about yourself if you're trying to manifest and it's not working. It's going to make you feel bad. So what you're going to do is you're going to start consuming more. Guys, it has been studied that the more crappy you feel, the more you spend. Listen to that again. The more crappier you feel, the more you're going to spend. So there's a reason the system we're living in is as it is. And this is what I believe. These people that have a lot of money created the movie The Secret, so a lot of people would feel so frustrated, so bad about themselves, that they would continue consuming and consuming and consuming, and an everlasting rat race to consume to feel good about yourself. But at the end is you're running after a carrot that is tied up to your back that you will never achieve that way. Or sorry, not never, because some people achieve it, don't get me wrong, they kick themselves in the butt so hard that they end up grabbing the carrot if you want to. But there's a few of them, and it has a big cost. So for the rest of us, what we need to learn is how the universe really works. If I want to learn about the law of attraction, if I believe in the law of attraction, if I believe in the law of manifestation, I believe in the universe, I believe in a higher power, I believe in God. It doesn't matter. You believe in something more. So if you believe in something more, it's not about beating yourself up. If you don't love yourself where you are, how is the universe, God, higher power, going to bring more to your life if you're already denying the creation? Listen to that again. When you beat yourself up, when you talk bad about yourself, you're denying the creation. When you're denying the creation, when the creation comes your way, the universe comes your way, God somehow brings an opportunity to do your doorstep, you're going to deny it. Or what's going to happen, the universe will not be able to bring an opportunity your way because you're telling the universe, I don't want any of your crap. If you bought something from somebody that you paid quite a lot of money and it was BS, they sold you BS, and they come back to try to sell you again, you're going to kick them up, you're going to kick them in the butt and send them away. This is exactly what you're doing to the universe. You're telling the universe, don't bring me anything, I don't deserve it. Even though it might be to feed your kids, to have a roof over your head. If you're beating yourself up, if you're coming from scarcity, if you're coming from the wrong places, it's going to make it very, very difficult to be able to make the right decisions and accept from inside, accept the abundance the universe might bring your way. Does that make sense? Yes or no, guys? Put it in the chat. Sounds like retail therapy. Yes, exactly, Suzanne. They're playing with us psychologically, so they keep us in this loop of buying, buying, and buying. Many years ago, I would buy nearly every day something online. Nearly every day, even $5 stuff, $10. I wasn't spending a lot of money. And I wasn't realizing what I was doing. Then I realized it was, in a way, trying to cover up the pain inside. Some people buy small things, some people buy big things. It doesn't matter. But why do you think the people that have money want more money? The people that have money want more money because their cost of living starts increasing and increasing. Now they have 2 houses. Now they have 3 houses. Now they have the yacht. Now they have the helicopter. Now they have the airplane. Now they have the house in Bermuda. They have the house in the mountains. They have the house over here. They want to take vacations over there. And they keep spending and spending more. And there's nothing wrong with spending, guys. Please don't listen to this correctly. I'm not saying it's bad to spend, but most people are spending from a place of scarcity, from a place of not feeling good about themselves and trying to cover the pain. I'm not saying everybody is the same, guys, but I invite you to start checking what's going on inside of you, because if you don't reprogram your subconscious mind from the limiting, negative, and false beliefs, your relationship with money, it's going to be very difficult to start being able to produce more money, attract more money, see opportunities, get opportunities, maybe ask for more money, ask for a raise, ask for more money in your business, whatever it is, guys. If I don't understand what's playing deep down in my mind as the script that is telling the universe what to bring my way, it ain't gonna happen, guys. No matter how big your manifestation board is, no matter how hours you spend a day thinking positive to attract good things into your life, it ain't gonna work. Because remember, you're doing it from the conscious mind. It's like the example that I give, a truck going 100 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour, and a bicycle, and the bicycle trying to change the course of the truck by, you know, bouncing into it. Do you think that a bicycle is going to make any dent or, you know, big change into the truck? Not at all. The truck is going to keep going. It's going to run over the bike and it's going to keep going. That is the subconscious mind. So if we don't dig deep into the subconscious mind to find, identify our limiting negative false beliefs around money, it's going to be very difficult. So going back to your question, Rana, that I love that you asked this, how do we manifest then? So again, first part, very important. What we were told about the secret, about the law of manifestation, the law of attraction is BS. It's not everything about positive. It's not about visualizing and feeling what we visualize to be able to manifest. For some people, it might work. Don't get me wrong. Yes, for some very few people, it might work. But for most people, if you have tried it and it hasn't worked, two things. Maybe you were not meant to have that you're asking for, or the other. First of all, understanding that I need to start, that's exploring, the right word, exploring my mind to find and identify the limiting negative and false beliefs. So I want to have a client and charge them X amount of money. I want a raise on my business, on my job. I want to find an opportunity, a real estate opportunity. I want this, I want that, whatever it is that you want, even the things that you want to put on your visualization board. Ask yourself, guys, and this is a difficult question, and you got to be open-hearted, open-minded to be able to start getting the right answers. Because remember, and this I did it many months ago, or many weeks ago, sorry, I spoke about how the mind tricks you. Okay, so we got to tie that up. There's many different things that tie up with this. Okay, but if you've been following for a while and listening to my lives, the free stuff from the community, or you've been on Zoom, you have heard me say this before. The mind is going to try to trick you. But if you keep practicing open mind, open heart, and asking yourself, okay, what happens, and listen to this question, what happens if I don't get this or this? Most people would say, and this happens to me in my sessions when I'm working one-on-one, one-to-many in different groups, people say, oh, it's okay if I don't get it. Okay, I listen to that part of you. Now scan your mind to find if there's a little negative voice in the back of your head that's saying something different. So now they close your eyes, they breathe a little bit, they try to relax, and I tell them again, ask yourself, what would happen if you don't get the car that you want, the house that you want, the raise that you want, the money that you would like that month, or whatever it is? What would happen? How would you feel about, about it? Yeah, I feel a little bit uncomfortable, Tommy. The truth is, there's a part of me that's saying that I don't care, but there's a part of me that now is saying I do care. Something is bothering me. If I don't get it, I'm going to feel like crap towards my wife because I'm the provider. Imagine, I'm just bringing here an example. I'm the provider, so I should be able to bring money. Okay, so how would that make you feel? Disappointment, maybe some shame, maybe some anger, maybe some whatever. Okay, so there we have the negatives, guys. So how do I feel? Remember the three questions I bring over and over again. How do I feel? Why do I feel this? Why would I feel shame because I'm not being able to provide to my family? Oh, because I should provide. So I should provide. So then I would ask, why do I think that I should provide? Like a responsibility that it's only up to me. Yes, I am putting myself in that position where I'm trying, look at the different word, trying to provide. But sometimes I might not be able to provide. But if I put myself into I have to provide, I should provide, I'm putting a lot of weight. So the energy behind the words and the words that I'm using are putting me down into a pit. I'm making me feel like crap. Does that make sense, guys? Put a 2 in the chat if that is making sense. It's very important. If it doesn't, ask me and we'll continue, okay? Please. We'll do Q&A towards the end, but let me know if this makes sense. Yes, yes, Shan, you increase the pressure. As you increase the pressure, there is less chances you're going to get what you want. Because if I increase the pressure, do you think I'm going to be able to keep my stress at bay or keep my anxiety at bay, guys? Will I be able to keep my anxiety and stress at a level that is going to allow me to think clearly? if I put more pressure on me, am I going to be able to think clearly? Yes or no? Type a 3 in the chat for yes or nothing for a no. Yes, type a 3 in the chat if I'm going to feel, if I want to be able to think clearly or not. Yes, normally is no. The no, the 3 would be the no. I won't be able to think clearly. Stress goes up, anxiety goes up, and now I don't think clearly. So my options are going to be reduced. My opportunities are going to pass through me, and I'm not going to be able to make good decisions. So at the end of the day, I'm screwing up my own life by putting more pressure. Yes, you cannot think clearly. Thank you, Sean. Exactly. And the 3 is coming in. So if I cannot think clearly, I'm just destroying myself, guys. Yeah. There you go. Yes. And there is a pressure to perform as a single income earner. There you go. As that pressure is there, you start building more pressure, Peter, and that is going to create less clarity and less chances of seeing opportunities or moving forward in whatever I want to do, because I'm so freaking scared of making a mistake, of screwing up, that although not taking actions is still going to impact me, right? I'd rather not take actions. Listen to this, guys. I'd rather not take actions because the fear of taking actions and screwing up is bigger than not taking actions. Listen to that again. The fear of not taking actions is less than the fear of taking actions. So now I don't do. So I build an amazing, visualization board, all from scarcity, from negativity in my mind that I'm not even realizing for, right? That I'm doing it from there. I then start bringing positivity into my mind and nothing happens. What do we do to take action, Peter? There we go. And again, this is what I've been teaching for a long time. Self-love, guys. Self-love. When I love myself and I understand, hey, Peter, I am trying to bring money to my house. I'm doing the best I can, but maybe last month or this month or whatever, it's not going as expected. Instead of beating myself up, I'm going to stop myself and try to find why I'm beating myself up. What is the false belief behind it? We're going to go there in a second. And I'm going to start working on that. And then loving myself. Hey, I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can. If I'm loving myself through this process, that is going to give me more energy to get out there and do more from a better place. So I'm going to end up taking actions from a loving place. Yes? There you go. So although, okay, what I'm doing now, just giving my mind some rest, what I feel exactly that I'm after 3 years nonstop learning. There you go. You see, Roman is saying this. The idea is to, again, explore the subconscious mind. Yes, loving and compassion for myself first. Exactly, Suzanne. Thank you. I got to love and bring compassion to myself, understanding that I'm doing the best I can. And yeah, as we were talking last time, Romana, that you brought it up, I should be doing more. No, I am doing exactly what I can do right now. So I love myself through that. And that is going to allow me to do more. It's opposite, guys. Listen to this. It's opposite to what most people are teaching, guys. It's opposite to what most people are teaching. I'm telling you to stop a second, not a month, not a year, to stop, love yourself, get rid of the garbage that might be holding you back, to love yourself at that moment, at least. Love yourself a little bit more and see yourself start taking more actions. Because Romana, as you've been learning to love yourself, your entire business has changed. And that's not bad. You haven't been able to make money right now, but your entire idea of business has changed. Your business model changed, and you feel much better with this new business model. So are you still moving forward? Yes. Without moving forward outside with actions, you're moving forward on the inside, and that is going to allow you to then take actions on the outside. You see? There you go, Peter. So the idea is Peter is sharing here that he has a client that is not loving himself, that he's not being able to forgive himself. So you need to work on understanding why he cannot forgive himself. What is the story, the script he's telling himself about forgiveness? Because if I don't forgive myself, I'm not going to be able to attract more stuff my way, money, love, relationship, whatever. I'm not going to be able to because I'm closing up to that. So when I close up to not forgiving myself, I'm not forgiving the universe. I'm not forgiving the universe. The universe is, I'm not going to allow the universe to bring anything my way. I'm responsible again. So to be able to start manifesting, Romana, again, go back to this. First of all, is loving yourself where you are. Understanding what are the negative things you have around money. It could be, again, exploring. What did your mom and dad teach about money? What did you learn about money as a kid? How was money at home? Was it scarce? How did it make you feel if there's no scarcity at home? How did mom feel around scarcity? How did dad feel around scarcity? What did dad do with that scarcity? He went and worked 2 jobs, 3 jobs, right? So he tried something externally to try to fix something internally. His scarcity, he tried to replace it with 3 jobs instead of finding an opportunity, finding a way of having 1 job and getting paid what he deserved, what he was valued. He maybe went out there and got 3 jobs, very maybe low paying jobs because he felt that he wasn't good enough. I'm just giving an example, guys. But if you saw that, the lack of value of your dad, and you're trying to fix it by having 3 jobs, you might have understood that money is difficult to get. Listen to this. I'm not saying it is exactly this. I'm just giving an example, guys, that the mind can make up. Money could be difficult to make because look at my dad. He's working 3 jobs and he's struggling. Money is difficult to make. And maybe we don't deserve money. That's why the universe doesn't give us money. God, what did we do wrong? You know, if we have heard these words, you know, God, what did we do wrong? If God is not providing you, you might have done something wrong. Or the universe is not giving you because you might have done something wrong. And you start seeing it as there's something wrong with you. So when we're having those thoughts, we need to start exploring them to go deeper. So what do I feel about money? What did my parents feel about money? What did my parents see or feel, think or feel around people that had money? My parents struggled with money many times along my life. And one of the things that I realized many, many years later through this path of self-discovery was that I didn't want to make money because I didn't want to please my parents. Listen to this again. I didn't want to make money because I didn't want to please my parents. My parents, loving, they wanted me to make money to not struggle how they did along their life. They had some good times and many bad times. So they didn't want me to suffer as they did. So they wanted me to make money. So whenever I told them I was going to study to become a doctor, my mom said, oh, you got to become a dentist. You're going to make a lot of money. Oh, you got to be a plastic surgeon. You're going to make a lot of money. Did she do it like try to, bother me or, mess me up or whatever? No, she did it from a place of love in her way because she didn't want me to struggle with money. So what that came into my mind is, and this was subconsciously, guys, I cannot make money because I'm going to please my parents. So for so long, each time I had some money, I had to spend it. I couldn't save any money. I couldn't make money, right? Or I made some money, don't get me wrong, I made money, but I had to spend it. And I missed many opportunities along my way because of these type of things. Because I had a scarcity mindset. I had the idea that people with money were bad people. If you had a business and you hadn't made money with your business, you were a bad person. You did something illegal. That's what I had learned indirectly with different circumstances along my life. So as I was trying to become an entrepreneur, I couldn't make a lot of money. So for many years, I struggled over and over again with my business and with other business models I was trying, because deep down, I didn't want to make money. So when I started exploring, so again, how do I manifest? First, loving myself where I am at. Second, exploring the mind to find what are the scripts, my relationship with money. Money is good, bad, selfish, whatever. Power. Start thinking what you could have associated in your mind around money, because that's how you're going to be able to start putting together your financial situation. once and for all. It might not happen overnight, guys. This is not an overnight fix. Your mind could have many limiting negative and false beliefs. And I have done money over these 14 years, many years I have done work over money. But each time I peel a layer off and I get rid of more garbage and I increase my financial situation. And it has been like that my entire life since I started doing my life since I started doing this inner work. So the work is inside. From a place of abundance and getting rid of the garbage, now we can start thinking in positive what we want to attract if it's aligned with our higher purpose. Now we can draw and put together our visualization board. But if I put it together my visualization board of a place of, I need this to feel good about myself. I need this to feel successful. I need this to feel worthy. I need this to feel accepted. I need this to feel valued. And most of the time, the mind is not going to recognize this at a conscious level. You need to start diving into a subconscious level to find these limiting. Change your relationship with money. It's going to be very difficult to be able to put your financial situation together. You're not going to be able to, guys. So it's exploring the mind and its beliefs around money. That came from mom, that came from dad, and then it came from my siblings, from school, from other parents, but it started with mom and dad. How was the money situation at home? Was there fighting over money? Was there struggling over money? Was there a lack of money? Was there a fear of losing money? Was there a bad investment and people lost money in the family? Those different things start creating scripts, programs in your mind, negative ones around money. So now you might, at a deep level that you might not be aware of, not want money. Push money away like, no, money is bad. Money is, whatever. And you know what, guys? I don't know, 95% of people that I work with have not even an idea, have no idea of what they believe about money. So as I normally say, it's not what you think that is holding you back. That is a conscious level. What you think, it's consciously. It's what you don't know, you think, that is holding you back. So what does that mean? I had many limiting negative and false beliefs around money, around making money, about having savings, about being successful with your business and making money, that I was holding myself back. When I started working on these things, I was able to start growing a business that grew a lot and became very successful. And now I'm growing my second business, is going very successful. So you need to explore your mind to find these things to be able to finally be able to manifest. If you don't like yourself, if you feel bad about yourself, if you beat yourself up, if you have negative thoughts towards yourself, you have those negative thoughts also goes towards the universe. And you are, in a way, pushing back whatever the universe wants to bring your way. So imagine the universe comes with bags of money and wants to put a bag of money in front of you. You're going to say no. Sorry, guys, you consciously might say, no, Tommy, I'm not going to say no. Yes, you're going to say no, because it doesn't matter what you think consciously. It's what you think subconsciously around yourself, your self-image, your self-value, your self-worth, that is going to dictate if you're going to allow the universe to bring money your way. Does that make sense, guys? I'll go back to the questions when we do the Q&A, guys, on Zoom, because, I'm talking about many things. I don't want to miss anything about the things that are coming up in my mind. Okay, we'll go to that again later. But type a 10 on the chat if it makes sense. Yes? So it's not about positivity. It's not about visualization only. If I don't change the lens through which I'm looking out into the world to manifest whatever it is not going to happen to most people, guys. I got to change the lens to which I'm looking out into the world to then be able to manifest on the outside. But if I just bring positivity, create my manifestation board there, it ain't going to work, guys. I tried it for many years. Remember, I started listening to these things like 30 years ago, a little bit less, maybe 28. 20 years ago, I was listening to the law of attraction the law of attraction, law of manifestation. I don't remember if The Secret was already there at that age. I think it came a little bit later, but I was already into these type of things of manifestation, visualization, board, create a board and positivity. It has been around for many years. And you know what, guys? I didn't manifest much. Why didn't I manifest much? Because I was driving. It's like, imagine putting just the outside of a Porsche, the outside of it to a broken car. Oh, it looks amazing. Look at this. I'm going to sit in the car and the car is not going to go anywhere. Because I just changed the outside of the car. I need to change the motor. I need to change the tires. I need to change the entire car for that car to really run as a Ferrari if I wanted to run as a Ferrari. I need to change my belief system, my self-image, my relationship and connection with money so that I can start manifesting, attracting, producing, whatever you want to call it, more of it. So if I have a negative self-image, or if I have a negative self-image about money, I'm screwed, guys. And most people have negative images around themselves and money. And that's why so many people are struggling. So what we're being fed from a lot of gurus out there is a lot of crap. Why? Because it makes you feel like crap, and now you want to consume more. So they're using the reverse psychology to make you feel like crap. Oh, you can have this. It's not that difficult. Do this. And in one day, you can manifest whatever you want. Look online, guys, and you're going to find big names. Abraham Hicks, Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor, Dr. Dispenza. Manifest whatever you want in a week doing this. Manifest whatever you want in one day. Now there's a manifestation babe out there that she says you can manifest anything in one day doing this. It's a bunch of crap, guys. Because if I don't do the inner work, the chances very high are that you're not going to manifest. Second thing that I said, if you're seeking for a spiritual path, guys, if you're in a spiritual path, you're going to mostly manifest what is in your best interest through your higher self, not through your ego. Listen to that again. If I want $1 million from my ego to cover up something inside of me, a lacking, a scarcity inside of me, and I'm seeking a true spiritual path, the universe might not give it to you because it might deviate you from your journey. I have talked to people, and they were into very spirituality and everything. I asked them, what would you do if you get $1 million? They were like, yeah, I would love to have $1 million. I asked them, what would you do if you have $1 million? Travel around the world. Okay, would you keep working? Oh, yeah, you know what, Tommy, I don't think I would be doing what I'm doing. So I told them, that's why the universe is not giving you $1 million, because you're going to walk away from the service you're doing to humankind, to humanity. So you're not getting what you want. You're getting what you need in your life. This is the other thing that we need to understand. We're not going to get whatever we want. If you're seeking true spirituality, true enlightenment, the soul is going to let the universe bring its way what it needs to evolve, not to feed the ego. Does that make sense? Now type a 20 in the chat if it's making sense. Yes, Romana, doing the inner work will allow you to love yourself and be able to start attracting what is for your best interest in your evolutionary path, or whatever you say it. Yes? Does that make sense, guys? This is really important because I see so many people feeling so much crappier after practicing all this crap out there of law of attraction, of law of manifestation, The Secret, whatever. And they had fed us lies over lies. Because if you look at The Secret, law of manifestation, or whatever, nobody is really asking you, what is the true intention of getting what you're asking for? Oh, I want $1 million. I deserve that. I'm a spiritual being and I deserve that. That is the ego. Because if not, you would say, I would like to have $1 million if it's aligned with my higher self. Nobody taught you that. That is more aligned with who you really are. Asking whatever to the universe. If guys, I'm going to give you the best example because I give this, I'm going to be closing with this for the people on Facebook. I'm going to continue on Zoom. Guys, if my kids come to me and say, Dad, my 10-year-old comes to me and says, Dad, I want a Porsche. Do you think I'm going to give my 10-year-old a Porsche? Yes or no? Would you give your 10-year-old kid a Porsche? No, you wouldn't, guys. I know it's a silly question, but I wouldn't, because I know it's not in his best interest. If I give him everything he asks, he's not going to learn how to be able to get out there and start producing the things that are good for him. I'm not going to create a strong, not that it's only on me, but I'm not going to help him. Let's put it in a different way. I'm not going to help him develop confidence, self-esteem, because I'm giving him everything. So if I wouldn't do it to him, to my kids, and I love them dearly, I wouldn't do that to them, give them everything. Do you think that the universe is going to give you everything you want? More so when you're asking it from your ego. Okay, this is what I want you to take and reflect on this, guys. The bunch of crap that we've fed for marketing, for you to follow these gurus that are telling you exactly what you want to listen. You can manifest whatever you want. No, because many times you're doing it from the ego. Nobody talks about this. That's why, again, so many people are struggling, because we're not meant to have everything we want. Once we're enlightened, you can have whatever you want, because whatever you want is going to be aligned with your higher self, because you're already your higher self. So when you're enlightened, yes, it is your given gift that you can get whatever you want, because it's going to be aligned with who you are. But nowadays that we're still struggling, between our ego and our true self, many times we're asking for things from the ego. And the universe normally, not all the time, normally doesn't talk to the ego, talks to the soul. Do whatever you want, guys. This is my teaching around the law of attraction, manifestation, being able to get your financial struggles, end, let's put it this way, end your financial struggles and be able to start making money, saving money, seeing opportunities, or whatever it is. If I don't change my relationship with myself and with money, it's going to be very difficult to manifest, attract anything into your life. So again, I hope that makes sense. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in Facebook if you like this. If you want more of this, we go live every week, twice a week in different groups. One is Become Unstoppable. The other one is Six Figures Entrepreneurs, where I talk about entrepreneurship. And on Wednesdays, like this today, on Mondays, I talk about mindset, especially around different subjects. So if you're interested, just put a hashtag community, and we'll send you the link to join. It's a free community. We do these free lives to share with you guys and help you with your journey on earth, that I believe that we're spiritual beings experiencing, going through a human experience. So we just have to connect more with who we are. That's what I believe in. So thank you very much. With the people that are on Zoom, stick around. We're going to keep going. For the people on the live, thank you again. I hope you enjoyed this, and see you around, guys. Take care. Have a great day. Bye. Much love.